There have been years since Apple removed the headphone jack from their iPhones, causing a huge wave of upset customers. Little did I know, however, that Apple would be the one company that was going to change the world of headphones forever. As a result, it got even better when Apple decided to release its AirPods Pro in 2019, which were so good that even after 2 years they still retain their excellent value. The AirPods were the same in 2020 as well. This means that just AirPods sales alone brought in more revenue than the combined revenues of Nvidia and AMD. There is now evidence that Apple has finally hit a technological wall with the launch of their new AirPods 3, which according to Apple's Vice President of Acoustics, Gary Jeans, are built exclusively by custom-made companies. Having the best sound quality possible is also the name of the game. As Gary says, the biggest issue is that no matter how customized the hardware is, it could not surpass the limitations of the software. Apple has used a variety of tricks to get around some of the limitations of Bluetooth, the technology that the AirPods rely on. Then when What Hi-Fi interviewed Gary and asked him if Bluetooth was holding back the AirPods, he replied, quote, "It's fair to say that we would appreciate more bandwidth in the AirPods. Yes, I agree. Let me stop right there. I would like to request more bandwidth." In my opinion, Gary was about to reveal a big secret about their future plans for the AirPods that had to do with gaining access to more bandwidth than they currently have. But unfortunately for us, Gary stopped himself from revealing that secret. If you're wondering why Apple would want more bandwidth for wireless audio, it's because they want to change the world of wireless audio for the better. Please allow me to explain once again that, just a couple of days ago, Apple finally achieved their goal of making their entire Apple Music catalog available in lossless format. If you do not know what that is, it is basically a method of compressing audio that preserves all the original data within the audio file. This essentially means that it preserves what the artist intended their song to sound like. So there's no doubt that Apple put in a lot of effort to update every single song and the entire Apple's catalog with lots of support. But there's one major issue that needs to be dealt with. Apple has sold hundreds of millions of AirPods over the years, but unfortunately they do not support lossless music due to the fact that Bluetooth does not support high bandwidth. If you want to listen to lossless audio right now on your iPhone, you must use either the built-in speakers or the 3.5mm headphone jack adapter with some form of wired headphones. Therefore, due to that major loophole, along with the fact that Apple has put so much effort into Spodio, along with Gary G's assertion that more bandwidth is necessary on the air, we need to make this a priority. I predicted late last year that Apple's AirPods Pro 2 would come with lossless audio support by 2022. In just a couple of days after that, in a mainstream quote, the same person stated the exact same thing, but added that the AirPods Pro 2 will have a new design and a new sound technology coupled with it. The plan is to implement it in the fourth quarter of 2022, which is also something that I agree with. Lossless is not as big a deal as you may think. 7 months ago, I made a video detailing the situation where Apple just killed Tidal when they introduced Apple Music, as Apple is offering high-res audio at no additional cost for only $5 a month for students, as opposed to Tidal's Hi-Fi plan, which used to cost $20. Because of this competitive pressure, Tidal dropped the price to $9.99 per month and is now offering an ad-supported, free tier of the service. Then it got even worse when, in December, Tidal offered 3 months of streaming for just $1, which, in my opinion, was terrible. It seems that they are becoming more desperate as the holidays approach. Having said all that, it is time to talk about how Apple is going to handle lossless, the audio on their future AirPods devices, and much more. You can adopt Qualcomm's new aptX lossless format, which apparently works over Bluetooth. It makes sense to me, however, that Apple should not have to depend on other companies for its products. This will probably result in a royalty fee. It makes the most sense for me to have them move over to a new standard in the future. My personal opinion is that ultra-wideband technology will be the standard of technology in the foreseeable future. It was thanks to a tweet from Scoble on Twitter, pointing to Apple, that I was able to do this. With ultra-wideband, of course, it is very likely that you are already familiar with this technology because Apple has already been working with ultra-wideband technology for quite some time now. If you think about it, possibilities are endless. like enabling people to use their iPhone as their car keys, or allowing them to transfer music directly to their HomePod just by bringing their iPhone close to it. The reason that this works is because every iPhone says that it is an athlete. I have built you one ultra-wide chip, as well as both the Apple White Series 6, which should be 7 in this case, and also the Apple White Series 5. Having said that, I also want to remind you that, over 2 years ago, a lot of people were wondering why the iPhone 11 did have the U1 chip because for a long time it did not do anything. In my opinion, Apple was already planning to replace the teeth with the ultra-wideband in the near future. The iPhone was given a ship year before other smartphones in order for them to be blinded by lossless audio when it became available. The feature at launch, moreover, it would be available to more people than just those with brand new iPhones, which is a brilliant idea. So, with that said, let me explain how also-wideband type works and some reasons why Apple might want to use it in the future. Unlike Bluetooth, ultra-wideband is a radio technology that allows a data connection between two devices with a relatively low power consumption. In my opinion, Apple was already planning to replace the teeth with the ultra-wide around 2 megabits per second, vastly less than the 9.2 megabits of magical transfer speed of around 2 megabits per second. Vastly less than the 9.2 megabits per second required for Apple's high-res Lasso Zo. I believe that Apple was already planning on replacing the teeth in the near future with the ultra-wide band, which has a 32-bit CRC. In addition to that, I have also found some very interesting details about onto why UWB is so important from the Manson Corporation, in which they stated that the UWB enables them to offer instant file sharing to their clients. As to my estimation, Apple was already planning to replace the teeth with the ultra-wideband. According to them, UWB has an effective range of up to 25 meters, compared to only 10 meters with Bluetooth. As a result, I think that an ultra-wideband would be a better choice in nearly every aspect of the matter. As a result, I think the big question is why is nobody actually using such a bed? Well, the main reason is that there is a lack of existing infrastructure, as well as a lack of adoption of this technology. Almost all computers in the world are built with Bluetooth capability, and almost all devices in the world use Bluetooth as well. As a result, it hasn't really been a good reason for anyone to switch over to a new school. I would argue that Apple has an ability to position itself because they are one of the only companies that develop their own devices, such as their iPhones, Apple Watches, AirPods, while at the same time developing their own custom chips inside of them and making their own software. And since they've been putting their one all into one iPhone since the iPhone 11, all they will never do is release new AirPods since they've been putting one all into one iPhone for quite some time now. It's a shame that you want to ship an updated cheat chip and then suddenly release new software to use it. And I bet this is currently working as well. My point is that ecosystem refers to the fact that Alpha could use it for losses. For example, Apple Music with AirBox. As a result, they will be able to use it for high-speed AirDrop transfers without being reified. The service can be used for precise location, tracking of mission AirPods, or other devices on board. During the morning handover, they can use the service for precise location. It is possible to use this key as a car key for a future Apple car, or as a key to enable a true smart home, or to unlock your front door box as you approach. As you walk into each room, your lights and devices will automatically turn on as soon as you enter each room. Those are just a few of the things Apple could do if I connected my bed as well. I think that all of the above is enough proof for me to conclude that Apple is going to be able to move forward with the future of the company. The strategy for the AirPods Pro 2 will be announced later this year by the first daughter and the vice president of Apple's acoustics division. It is said from her that they want a higher bandwidth than Bluetooth can provide, with the main incentive being that the Apple Kit enables lossless audio support, which she, quote, already said will be available early in the year at a lower cost. We don't have any other choice than to go with an ultra-wideband solution. She claims that UWB actually uses less power than bleeds because Wi-Fi uses too much power. Well, it also comes with lower latency, a much wider range of effect, and much greater bandwidth. As far as the human shipper has been concerned, Apple has not been packaging the most popular devices. There is already the infrastructure in place and ready for Apple to make the switch by releasing AirPods that will come equipped with the U1 chip. The essence of this video is that if all of the pieces line up perfectly, and if Apple succeeds, which I believe they will, then they will change the world of wireless audio forever. It is very likely that the rest of the market will follow Apple's footsteps and adopt the ultra-wideband as a new standard to replace Bluetooth as soon as possible. There you have it. Hopefully there's something new in this video. And if you are excited to listen to audio with your future AirPods later this year, please jot your thoughts down below. And be sure to click the thumbs up button, which helps me in the future. I look forward to your questions or comments as well.